Today, we'll be exploring 20 LEGO sets that are worth far more than you may expect. While big box sets like the UCS Falcon, the Titanic, and the Eiffel Tower are unsurprisingly expensive, there are lots of smaller LEGO sets that fetch a price far higher than you may expect. Starting off today is one of the most unusual sets that LEGO has ever released. Comic-Con has always been known for the promotional goodies and giveaways that attendees have a chance at getting, and in 2012, LEGO was handing out sets. Specifically, fans could pick up this promotional keepsake of Antonio's Pizzarama. Believe it or not, this triangular package is simply a very unique LEGO box. Inside, there was an instruction booklet in the style of a menu, and 57 pieces to build your very own slice of New York pizza. This set is the first and only LEGO set designed with this pizza-shaped box, and its connection to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line is one of the many reasons why this set is so valuable. The last time one of these was spotted on eBay in new condition, it was going for $4,000. If you're lucky though, you might be able to pick up one used for as little as $2,500, but the box condition is certainly the most valuable part here. Do you remember LEGO Lord of the Rings? These sets were everywhere for years and then suddenly sailed off to the Western lands. This theme had so many unique minifigures, pieces, and colors that today, any new set is worth a fair price. But specifically, this set, Gandalf Arrives, has 83 pieces and 2 minifigures. When it was in stores, you could pick one up for just $13 US, but today, it'll set you back close to $75 US for a new unopened set. The Grand Carousel launched in 2009 as part of the Fairgrounds collection, and was briefly re-released in 2017 under the Creator Expert line. It was an instant hit back in 2009 and has become one of the most sought-after LEGO sets of all time. With 3,000 pieces and 9 minifigures, this set is chock full of details. But perhaps the most notable aspect of this set is the inclusion of a battery that powers the carousel, allowing it to spin as well as raise and lower the horses and carriages. This thing even plays its own music as it spins. Today, a used version of the carousel set can be picked up for around $1,000. If you're looking for a new one though, expect to drop close to $2,500. Why? Well, since it was already an expensive $250 set when it was sold in 2009, there just aren't many of the original sets out there. Another LEGO set whose price comes from the fact that so few of them were ever made is the LEGO Batpod. Only 1,000 of these sets were produced, and they were given out to select LEGO VIP members. It's a decent enough set, all things considered. With 311 pieces, it does a great job of capturing the look and feel of the bike from the Dark Knight movies. Picking up a new one of these today will run you close to $2,000 US, but you can pick up a used version for as little as $130. The set itself doesn't really have any rare or unique elements to it, so the majority of its value comes from that packaging. As you may know, in 2022, LEGO released the Collector's Edition Hogwarts Express. The set is massive and unsurprisingly came with a hefty price tag. But you see, this wasn't LEGO's first attempt at the legendary train. All the way back in 2004, LEGO released the motorized Hogwarts Express set with 708 pieces and a fully functional motorized train that fit on existing LEGO train track pieces. While this set is much smaller than the newer version, it's worth a considerable amount more. A new in-box version of this set will set you back close to $4,000, and even a used copy without the box will run you about the same price as the new collector's edition, or about $500 US. However, this wasn't the only time that LEGO has brought back an older set in a new form. When the company revealed the Eiffel Tower in 2022, people instantly drew comparisons to its other versions of the iconic landmark, with many wondering if the set justified the $600 price tag. Well, whatever your thoughts on this set are, if you want a LEGO Eiffel Tower at all, it might just be the cheapest option. You see, LEGO's other large-scale offering of this iconic landmark came out a few years earlier in 2007 and was one of the largest sets ever released at the time. It has over 3,000 pieces and stood just over 3 feet tall. While it's certainly far less detailed than the more recent version, it does have its own unique charm that many collectors prefer. If you like the look of it, you can get your very own for about $500 used or $1,300 brand new. LEGO's historic automatic binding bricks were released in 1949 and were the company's very first attempt at plastic bricks. While they look close enough to the modern style of brick we're all familiar with, they definitely are not the same. Take a look at the top and bottom of these bricks. Today, a complete set of these is almost impossible to actually find, but the most recent listing online sold for over $3,000. Their value is simply a matter of these being quite old and extremely iconic in LEGO's company history. Even small handfuls of these historic bricks can sell for a decent price. After a long and tiring day, any minifigure could do with a little bit of relaxation over a nice cup of coffee. In 2007, LEGO issued the very first building in its modular series, the Cafe Corner. This 2,000-piece set came with 3 minifigures and basically set the template for every modular building to follow. Getting your hands on a complete Cafe Corner set is the dream of almost every LEGO modular building collector, and you can get your very own for about $1,600, which is about the same as 300 Starbucks coffees. While today many people build their LEGO cities around modulars and fairgrounds, LEGO has been pulling out city sets from the very beginning. You see, one of the rarest of these older offerings is the Town Square Castle Scene set, which came with 471 pieces and 11 minifigures. The set depicts a scene in front of the Legoland Carnival where a small parade is going on. The coolest thing here, though, is that the castle in the back is very clearly the legendary Yellow Castle set from 1978. Today, the value of this set is largely due to its age and rarity as opposed to any particular pieces, but a new set will cost you around $1,500. Continuing the city building theme, the Market Street Modular is another set that costs way more than you'd think. The buildings in the modular line have long been some of the most detailed sets that LEGO releases, and fans of the theme tend to collect every new set that comes out. However, a lot of these collectors don't tend to resell them. That means that getting older sets can be hard and very pricey. Released in 2007 with over 1,200 pieces, this set was actually designed by a LEGO fan named Eric Brock, making it one of the very first fan-designed official sets, about 4 years before LEGO Ideas was a thing. Today, a complete Market Street set in its box will set a collector back around $1,300. Speaking of LEGO Ideas though, the very first product in the ever-growing line came out in 2011, back when it was still called LEGO Kuso. The Shinkai submarine was only ever released in Japan, and only in limited quantities. This set was based on the actual Shinkai deep sea vessel, a Japanese submarine that held the record for the deepest crew to dive, going 21,000 feet below the surface. While the Shinkai 6500 might not be as iconic as some of the other LEGO Ideas sets that have come since then, this set still fetches a very high price with a new one running just over $1,000. Over the years, LEGO has released several Arkham Asylum sets, but this version from 2006 is the most expensive today. This set was from the Batman line that existed before the more broad LEGO DC Heroes theme, and today all the sets from this original Batman theme are quite valuable. You see, this set had 860 pieces and 7 minifigures, including 4 unique ones. It's also the only set to include this tower roof piece in gray. You can add this set to your collection for about $500 new or $300 used. Some sets get their value from a dedicated fan base who are willing to pay top dollar for what might otherwise be considered a quite standard product. Set 8596 Takanuva only came with 200 pieces, and none of them are unique to this set, and it was on shelves for 2 full years. Even still, getting a new one of this set will cost fans up to $500. Why? Well, to put it simply, Bionicle has perhaps the most passionate fans out of any LEGO theme, and this set is considered by many to be one of the best ever made. But if you think that's too expensive, not all hope is lost, because you could pick up a used one for just $70, a lot less. Over the last few years, LEGO has released more and more Star Wars helmets. These are great display sets that usually retail for around $70, so many people out there have been collecting them all. Completionists might try to go back and find the very first LEGO Star Wars head, only to be left speechless. The Darth Maul set came out in 2001 as one of the very first LEGO Star Wars UCS sets. This package included 1,800 pieces and sold for a modest $150 at the time. Today, anyone looking to grab one of these will need to shell out at least $600 for just a used one, and close to $2,500 for a new box. LEGO's holiday sets are always a big hit, but sadly also inherently short-lived availability in stores. One of the most sought-after displays is the Haunted House set from the Monster Fighters theme. This was the last and largest set ever to be released under the banner, and it sat on shelves for 2 full years from 2012 through 2014. Today, the value of this set is roughly the same whether it's new or used, with a price running from $300 to $500. I've actually got a whole video on the Monster Fighters theme that goes into a lot more detail about this wild theme. I'll put a link in the description alongside a few sets that you can check out using YouTube's shopping feature. The Galaxy Commander set launched into orbit in 1983 as part of the Classic Space line. This is a truly vintage LEGO set that is incredibly hard to find today, and finding an unopened set in like-new condition is even more challenging, if not impossible. Because of this, the Galaxy Commander can sell for more than $3,000. Following up on the space line, it's yet another amazing set from the 80s. The monorail transport system was meant to be the hub for several other sets and even entire themes going forward. This ambitious set came with 731 pieces to build a fully functional and motorized monorail for your spacemen to use. The set went on sale for about $150, which is close to $400 in today's money, and was generally kind of a flop. The high price was simply too much for a lot of people at the time, and the irony is that today, one of these sets in its original box can sell for more than $4,000. Another classic set with a higher than expected price these days is 1992's Imperial Trading Post. Even when it came out, this set was impressive. It had a total of 11 of these wall pieces in 3 varieties and this massive flag. Also in the box were pieces to build 2 boats, several now hard-to-find sail pieces, and 9 minifigures, including 5 that only ever appeared here. Today, many of the larger pirate-themed sets easily sell for thousands of dollars, but even this smaller box will run you $1,500. Now, I can't talk about expensive LEGO sets without talking about one of the most famous and valuable sets of all time. I mentioned the Yellow Castle set briefly earlier in this video as it's referenced in the Town Square set, but it deserves its own spot on the list. This set came out in 1978 with 767 pieces and an impressive 17 minifigures, but you see, it was never officially released in the United States. While the design of this set pales in comparison to some later castles that LEGO would go on to release, the fact is that this was the very first, and it has earned an incredibly high resale value. Today, if you want to build this for yourself, you'll need to fork up around $10,000. Now, while all the sets I've gone over today are certainly valuable, some sets are truly priceless. In 2001, Coca-Cola was experimenting internally with something called the Eye Fountain, which was completely unrelated to Apple, but the idea was a sort of mix and match fountain. Think of it as an early version of the Coke Freestyle machines. Anyway, as part of the development, Coke partnered with LEGO to create a set to give out to employees who were working on the project. This model was designed to look like the new machines and was made up of 142 pieces. None of them are particularly unique or interesting, but there are unique sticker sheets. These stickers, though, didn't even fit the final build and had to be manually cut down to fit. Since these sets were obviously never available in stores or given out by LEGO, getting a hold of one of these can be incredibly challenging, though if you're lucky you may potentially be able to grab one for around $600. Although that's certainly not as high as some of the other sets on this list, none of the pieces in this set are unique, so you're essentially paying for some special stickers. But with saying that, if you could have one of these sets for free, which would you choose? Comment below. Click this video to see the most ridiculously expensive LEGO minifigures, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel SpitBrix for more LEGO videos.